Ramchandra Bhagavan ki jai. Avirbhav Titi Mahotsav Ramchandra Bhagavan ki jai. Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. Jai Jai Shri Ram. Jai Jai Shri Ram. Jai Jai Shri Ram. Radha Raman ki jai. We'll begin our lecture with a small quotation from 1966 Prabhupada lecture. And Prabhupada is discussing about different forms of Bhagavan, and there he says that there are innumerable forms of Bhagavan Sri Krishna on innumerable spiritual planets. Different forms of the Lord are worshipped by different devotees. Listen, I just want to raise it. You have to listen. Okay, no more. Hold on. Okay, it's like this. Okay, now tighten it. Tight, is tight? Okay. Radhi. So, Prabhupada said, different forms of the Lord are worshipped on innumerable spiritual planets. And different forms of the Lord are worshipped by different devotees. But all forms of the Lord are absolute, God Himself. Just like Krishna and Ram are the same, but we worship Krishna, and other devotees worship Ram. I thought it was so wonderful, the way Prabhupada said it. We worship Krishna, others worship Ram. So that should be understood very clearly, that we worship Krishna and Ram on this day, and Krishna is the origin of Ram, Sarvavatari. We want to discuss today the glories of Hanuman. Bhakta Hanuman, who's Dasirati Hanuman. His speciality is service to the Lord. So before we discuss his Leelas, we want to discuss something about the operating software of Hanuman's heart, to use common ideas. How does he think and feel, and what makes up his heart, and what makes up the heart of a servant of the Lord? Because we are kinkari, we are servants of the Lord, at least that is our eternal identity and our eternal position. Gita tells that, Mamevam sho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. So Krishna is the Sanatan Bhagavan, the eternal personality of Godhead. And the jivas are the Sanatan living entities that are part of God. And every part of God serves God. Very easy to understand. We have many parts of our body, and they all are engaged in the service of our desire. I want to drink water. My desire is to drink water, so my arm, hand, everything works together to bring the water to my mouth to satisfy the desire of me identifying with my body. So Krishna has so many angas and amshus, angas, parts and parcels of his body, and they're all engaged in serving him, at least supposed to be. And they're all engaged in fulfilling his desires. And his desire is to love. His desire is to be happy. Krishna's desire is to be happy, loving his friends in a variety of interesting ways. And this would be the desire of anyone. Any human being has the desire to be happy, loving his friends in varieties of ways, isn't it? What is life more than that? If you were to define an ideal life, how would you define it? An ideal life would be living with loving friends and enjoying life together and being happy, making each other happy. So now how would we do that if we all lived together with all of our friends in some beautiful place? So Krishna lives together with all his friends in a beautiful place called Vrindavan. And every part of Krishna, his friends, and they're all engaged in fulfilling his desires and becoming happy by that and loving him. And in Ram Leela, Ram and all his parishads, all his devotees, parts and parcels, all his servants, are living with him and loving him and enjoying happy life in a variety of activities. And Ayodhya Puri, Ayodhya, which is one spiritual planet in Vaikuntha, Ayodhya Puri. We have Mathura Puri, Ayodhya Puri. So, basic bottom, or the foundational feeling of every lover of Krishna, whether they are gopis in Vrindavan, or his queens, Mahishi wives in Dwarka, his sakas and coward boyfriends in Vrindavan, or his servants in Ayodhya, or his servants in Dwarka, or his servants in Nandagaon, his house servants, his personal servants, and his parents, of course, Kaushalya and Dasarath, and Nanda and Yashoda. They're all in Dasya Bhav. That is the foundational Bhav of their hearts. They're all wanting to please Krishna by their services, serving him with the loving rati, or attachment or mood of a mother, Vatsalya rati, or serving Krishna and pleasing Krishna with the loving mood of a friend, Sakya rati, or serving Krishna and pleasing Krishna with the loving mood of a servant, a humble servant, and Dasirati, or a lover, an intimate conjugal lover. As a gopi, Vrajagopi like Radha, Lalita Vishaka, or a queen like Sita Devi, or the multitudes of queens in Dwarka, like Rukmini and Satyabhama, the Dwarka Mahishis. But they're all, I'm Krishna's servant. And they even speak verses like that. We are your dasi, shukla dasis. We are your shukla dasis. Even the most intimate, loving servants of Krishna, the gopis, and the most intimate of all pastimes, in the most intimate of all times of day, in the most beautiful season, Sharad Ritu, the full moon night of Sharad season, and the Rasa Leela dance on the banks of the Yamuna under the beautiful rays of the full moon, the silvery sounds of the Yamuna banks. And the gopis are speaking to Krishna. We are your dasi shulka. We are your unpaid dasis. We are your seva dasis. We are your most intimate conjugal lovers, your nayakas, your Mahabhavati Radha, Prem nayakas, your most intimate. We are your preyasis. We are your Parakiya lovers, your paramours. But we feel ourselves to be dasi shulka, that we're unpaid maidservants. So, Dasiras. He is Dasirati Hanuman. So we want to hear about the different rasas, the different qualities of each rasa. And then we want to hear first we'll establish what is the prayojan. The prayojan means the final relationship of love with the Lord and his devotees. That final relationship, prayojana, that final eternal relationship, prayojan, that eternal connection with the Lord based on pure love, the prayojan. Prayojan is sometimes translated as the ultimate necessity. The ultimate necessity is eternal loving relationship with God. That is the ultimate necessity, need of the hour of every single jiva. Why are we crying, suffering, tension, anxiety? Because of no sambandha with God. We have sambandha with everything but God. Relationship, intimate, tightly connected with everything and everyone but God. So prayojan, prakrishta yojan, that intense relationship with the Lord, connection with the Lord. So it's very nicely explained here. What is our ultimate prayojan? We as Rupanuga Vaishnavas, as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, this is in this book. The ultimate objective, Krishna Prem, an eternal loving relationship of intimacy with the Lord. Intimacy as his friend, intimacy as his servant, intimacy as his parent, or a divine conjugal lover, or assistant to the conjugal pair. Divine love. Krishna Prem, for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, means, in one sense, it can mean to attain, prem can mean to attain pure love for Lakshmi Narayana Vaikuntha. And prem can mean attain pure love for the Lord of Ayodhya, Ayodhyapati Ram, the son of Dasarath, and the husband of Sita Devi. Rama means Lakshmi. Rama Ram, Sita Ram. Rama means Lakshmi or Sita and Ram. But for others, for us, that can be Ram Prem, Vishnu Prem, Narayan Prem, Narayan. Narada Muni in Dasirati with Narayan. Hanuman is in Dasirati with Ram Chandra. And Raktak and Patrak are in Dasirati with Krishna. So what is our goal of our prem? It's not Lakshmi Narayan prem, not Sita Ram prem, but Radha Krishna prem. Very nicely explained here. We don't aspire for anything like Ram Bhaktas and Vishnu Bhaktas. We want the service of Brajendra Nandan Krishna, not even Dwarkadish Krishna, not even Mathuradish Krishna, Mathuresh. We want Brajendra Nandan Shamsundar. Millions of people go to Puri every year and see Jagannath Dev, Swami, Jagannath Swami. Oh, Jai Jagannath, Lord of the universe. But when we go and we see Jagannath, we say, Brajendra Nandan Shamsundar, that blackish Lord of Vrindavan, that Lord of Radha's heart, O Radhanath, O Raktadar. We do not desire the prem of Krishna. We do not desire the prem of Krishna for Srimati Radharani and Braja Prem. We do not desire the prem of Krishna for Srimati Radhika and the gopis. We desire the prem of Radhika. We desire the love of Radhika and the gopis for Krishna. We desire to serve Krishna, but not directly or independently. We want to serve Krishna only through Srimati Radhika and her beloved gopis, and under their guidance, Gopi Anugatya. Hey Nevedayana Darasakir Anugatya Karo. Seva Anugatya. We pray to Brindadevi, and we pray to Lita, and Vishaka, and we pray to Rupa Mandri, and Rati Mandri, and all the Sakhi Mandris. Please accept me under your wing, under your shelter, under your feet, under your guidance, your eternal guidance. I want to become a Nitya Sakhi in your Sangani. I want to be in your Sangha as your eternal Dasi, Anodasi, Gopi Bhartu, Padakamalaya, Dasi. We desire to serve Krishna, but not directly, Sakshat Seva, or independently, only through Srimati Radhika and the gopis. We do not aspire for a direct union of love with Krishna and Nayaka Bhav as a conjugal lover, in competition with Srimati Radhika. We only desire to experience love through Radha and assist Radha in meeting with Sri Krishna. Serving Sri Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radhika, Radha Bhav, Gopi Bhav, is the goal of our Sri Rupanuga line, our Gaudiya Vaishnava line. Our primary sambandha, Prem Sambandha, our primary loving relationship is with Srimati Radhika. Radha Sambandha. Primary relationship means what? What does the word Sambandha translate as? Relationship. So the permanent, eternal loving position of the heart, that rati may be different. But the followers of Rupa Goswami that have that sthai rati of Madhur rati, this is their aspiration. And even if one is in Sakirati, then will also serve Krishna through Radha and through the other cowherd boys, through Sridham and Subal. Radha is our primary worshipable deity, and we think of Sri Krishna only as the beloved, the life and soul of our Swami Srimati Radhika. There are various types of rasas, mellows of love in Braj, Sakya, Vatsalya and Madhurya. Our goal is Madhurya Mahi Bhakti, that love which is saturated with the sweet, intimate love of the gopis for Krishna. We follow in the footsteps of our Rasacharya as the Rupanuga Dhara. Rupanuga Dhara means the current, like a Dhara means river, current. The line drawn from Rupa Goswami. And everything that's on that line, it's in line and we accept it, on the mark. So he is the Rasacharya, Sri Rupa Goswami. He came to establish the mission of the innermost heart's desire, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's innermost desire. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Tada Dati Swapadanti Manobhishtam Abhishta Mana Abhishta, the desire, the heart, cherished desire of the heart of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa. That Swayam Rupa, he is directly the form of Radha's love. Swayam Rupa Kadam. He is Swayam Rupa. He is that Sri Rupa, is the Sri, that love of Radharani, that Gopi Bhav. He is a direct form of that. The essence of what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us through Rupa Goswami is to follow in the footsteps of the Gopi maid servants of Srimati Radhika and serve Radhika in Manjari Bhav, Tat Tat Bhava Icchamayi. We are saturated with an Icha, Ek Icha. This should be our Ek Icha. My only desire is to make money. Some people have that desire. Icchamayi, Ek Icha. Tat Tat Bhava Icchamayi. Icha, my desire, Mayi, I am saturated, I am made of one desire. Tat Bhav, that Bhav, what Bhav? That Bhav that's in Radha's heart. That Bhav that's in Lita's heart and Rupa Manjari's heart. That Bhav is my cherished desire. I desire to taste that Bhav, Gopi Bhav, and to nourish that Bhav, and to expand that Bhav in all the various relationships that Radha has with Krishna, to nourish her loving relationships and expand them. All the Sakhis, the function of all the Sakhis is to expand and nourish Radha's relationship and pastimes with Krishna, and ultimately which it all together brings the supreme, topmost pleasure to Krishna. There are no greater pleasure givers to Krishna than the Manjaris and Gopis of Braj. Radhika is our Ishtadevata, our worshipful object of loving service, our all in all. Therefore, our exclusive goal, ultimate necessity, ultimate objective is, our prayojan is Radha Dasyam, eternal slavery to Radha, the eternal service of Radha. This is the speciality and glory of our Sri Rupanuga line. One may be, that's Rupanuga, one may be Raganuga and Sakirati, and following also the moods of Vrindavan and Gopabhav, Sakabhav. That's also there. That's also in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Char Bhakti Ras, came to broadcast the four rasas. So I want to establish what is for the, you can say many Gaudiya Vaishnavas, most, let's say, many can be in any one of the four Braja rasas. But what Rupa Goswami and the delegated servants, the special Sad Goswamis, are teaching this ultimate objective of Radha Dasyam, and making that available to those jivas that are so much inclined and inherently that way. So that is their goal, their Ishta Devata. But now we're going to look at Hanuman. He's Dasyarati. Dasirati. His ultimate goal, his prayojan is as a loving kinkar of Ram. Ram kinkar. He's Ram kinkar. He's the eternal servant of Ram. That is his mood and mellow. So we want to get a brief overview of the characteristics of these 5 rasas in Vrindavan. I've just taken some notes here because we want to see that we know this is what Gaudiyas are representing. So there's 5 rasas: Shantaras, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. Remember, we're talking about, ultimately we're going to get to Hanuman. So we want to understand something about his ras. And then when we understand the permanent loving mellow or mood of his heart, his rati. Rati means his attachment. His heart is completely attached to Ramachandra in a mood of service, humble service, completely surrendered service. So the first ras is neutrality, Shanta ras. This is a ras, and there's so many entities in Braj that have this Shanta ras, like trees and whatnot. Although Rasik Acharyas say everything is imbued with drops of Madhurya. So in this neutrality that's generally represented, not really considered to be represented in Braj in one sense. Generally it's Dasya ras, these 4 rasas. Lord Chaitanya came to broadcast 4 rasas of Braj. So some acharyas say there's not really any Shanta ras in Braj. Because every tree, every bird, every bee is engaged in and ultimately the conjugal service of the Lord by providing udipan, or stimulants or excitants for the loving pastimes of Krishna with the gopis and with the gopas. So they're all either assisting on Sakirati, or Sakiras, or Madhurya Ras, or Vatsalya Ras as servants. So there's really, that's why it says Char Bhakti Ras. Lord Chaitanya came to broadcast 4, Char Bhakti, Chari Bhakti Ras, Braja Bhakti. 4 rasas, all are available for the jivas in Braj. So this is passive adoration on reverence. Mostly one spends his time meditating on the Supreme Lord. And this Shantarati, he basically realizes his constitutional position. You realize your constitutional position with God. Aham Brahmasmi. I am a spirit soul and I'm a servant of God. Shantarati can be seen that way, that not I'm a servant of God, but I'm part and parcel of God. I have some relationship with God as part and parcel. But it's passive. I meditate on Him, that's fine, that's enough. So this is generally the Paramatma yogis, they meditate on Vishnu. And also the Brahmavadis, sometimes if they're not offenders, this is considered Shantarati also. They're always meditating on the Lord. What are the characteristics? These are the characteristics of Shantarati, always meditating on the Lord. Krishna, Nishta, and Trishna. Tyag. So there's 2 characteristics of each rasa. And in Madhurya Ras, how many characteristics are there? 8 characteristics. So each of the 2 are added to the higher rasa. So the bottom one is Shantaras, quite distant from the Lord. I'm happy. You're there on your throne, sitting on your throne, you're sitting on the throne of my heart, and I'm meditating on you. Vishnu Dhyan, neutrality, passive adoration. I understand that you're the greatest, and I just meditate on it from a distance. But so they are Krishna Nishta, means they're fixed, they have unwavering devotion. They have devotion in Shantarati. But who's an example in Shantarati? Do you know? Prahlad Maharaj. That's right. He's happy singing prayers, chanting some stutis and Hanuman Chalisa. He's happy singing some prayers, but he's not actually engaged in any service. He keeps his distance. So he's Krishna Nishta and Trishna Tyag. Trishna means taste and Tyag means renouncing. Completely detached from any material desires. Thirst, hankering, lusty desires. Person in Shantarati has no lusty desires, no thirst or hankering for anything material. Krishna Nishta and like this. So now, It gets to the next level, Dasya Rati. This is Hanuman, Dasya Rati. So this has two characteristics. In Shantarati, there's no mamata. There's no mamta bhav, mamata. The sense of God, the possessiveness of God, Krishna is mine, Narayan's mine, nothing like this. So this relationship of Dasya is servitude, master and servant. This is Hanuman and Ram. So mamata and seva vritti. Mamata means, Ram, you are mine. You are my Ishta, you are my Lord, you are my everything, Ram. So that's the idea of mamata. Seva vritti means the function or desire to serve, a desire to serve the Lord. And this is an active relationship based on loving exchanges. This is the idea of Dasya Rati. Now, we'll look at this. This is Sakya, friendship. Vishramba. The main quality of friendship, Sakiras, is Vishramba. This means intimacy based on feelings of equality, a mood of intimacy with no reverential attitude. So we know that the coward boys, they feel, you're a big man, I'm also a big man. They don't feel that Krishna is something special or beyond them, equality. Then Vatsalya Ras, the two qualities of Vatsalya are Palana, Poshana, and Tadana Bhartsana. Bhartsana means protection, nourishment, and punishment. Protection, nourishment, and punishment. So this is their bhav, palana, poshana bhav. They have the bhav that I am Krishna's guardian, his parent, I'm his mother and father. So I have the right, and I have to protect him and feed him. Like we say, Gopal, protector of the cows. So Yashoda is Krishna's Gopal. Yashoda is the protector of Gopal. So she nourished, and palana means to, Poshana means to nourish and feed, and palana means to protect. But sometimes he misbehaves himself, and she has to discipline him and chastise and rebuke him. So she may have to beat him. So that's the bhav of, I am the parent. It's my duty to correct my son and to punish him or discipline him for his own welfare. So these are the 6 qualities of these, or rather, let's say, 2, 4, 6, 8 qualities of these rasas. Now there's a 9th quality in Madhurya. In Vatsalya Ras, all these qualities are there. Krishna Nishta. Yashoda is Krishna Nishta. She has unwavering, unflinching, steady devotion, love for Krishna. And Trishna Tyag, she has no interest at all in the material world, not even her own body. She doesn't even care about protecting her own body. She'll run into Yamuna to try to save Krishna from Kaliya, not even thinking about the poisoned water of the Yamuna. She has no attachment to anything. And she has so much mamata, my Krishna, and so much seva-vritti, only desiring to serve more and more and more. And so much vishramba, feelings of equality. Because you are my Lala. She doesn't think he's God. He's a coward, he's one of us. And then Palana Poshana, then Madhurya. So the 9th characteristic, all these 8 are there plus one more in Madhurya. Nija Anga Diya. Nijanga Diya, Nija, my body. Diya means to give. Where they offer their whole body for the service of Krishna. Body, mind, heart, everything. So in this Dasya Ras, a little bit more note, because this is Hanuman. This is Hanuman's mood, servitude. And being Dasya Ras, he's full of Krishna Nishta and Krishna Tyag. He has no interest in anything material. He's Ram Nishta. He's fully fixed and totally unswerving devotion to Ramchandra. And he has Mamata. Ram, you are mine. See, you are mine. I've enshrined you in my heart. And he has this mood of seva-vritti, constantly desiring to serve Ram, waiting, standing on it, crouched, because monkeys can jump when they're crouched. Before a monkey jumps, he crouches down. Contraction, then expansion. Like this, down. Monkey doesn't stand. Sometimes monkeys stand on their back 2 legs. They just stand like this and they go like this, look around. And sometimes they walk like that. And they can't jump across a building like that. They can't jump from building to building across the street while standing up. They get down Or even if they're running, they'll run and get down and bounce. So Hanuman is crouched down next to Ram. You see the posters. He's crouched and he's poised. He's just ready to spring. Like a spring, if you compress a spring and let go, what happens? Boing! It expands, and expands, there's upward movement and force. So he's a concentrated spring of service. Hanuman is a concentrated spring of concentrated spring. Hanuman is a contracted spring, waiting to bounce into service of Ram. Bounce or expand it. Bounce, boing, boing. I always see him like that. When you realize, in Tasiras, you realize your constitutional position, you understand the opulence of the Supreme God, personality of God, that He's a person. This is called Aishvarya Gyan, versus Brahma Gyan. And Shantarasa is Brahma Gyan, that God is great, He's Brahman, so I should meditate on Him. Knowledge mixed with awe and reverence of the great opulence and of the possessions of the Lord. By serving the Lord in Dasiras, the devotee constantly gives happiness to the Lord. So this is the mood of Hanuman. And I want to, because there was a little delay in getting things going, these are the 5 main rasas, and there's 7 secondary rasas. So I want you to either take notes of these briefly or remember them. And I've made them A, B like this. So, because when we hear the pastimes of Hanuman, then you'll see how these different rasas are coming up. These are secondary rasas. He's a servant and he'll serve the Lord in various ways. But in the context of his life then, and his experiences, you'll see these are indirect ecstasies of devotional service, gona rasas. There are 7 of them. Adbhuta ras, Bhayaras or Bhayanaka ras, Hasiras, Karunaras, Rodaras, and Vibhatsaras, and Viraras. So Adbhut ras. This is wonder or astonishment. This occurs when we see, or we hear, or we speak something astonishing in relationship to Ram or Krishna. We see something astonishing in relation to Krishna or Ram, then we experience, or we say something, or we hear something. We hear something about someone. We're in a village, and someone comes and describes, "Oh, I was with Krishna at Brahmanda Ghat, and he was swallowing clay. And then we told his mother, and she came down, and he opened his mouth, and when we looked in his mouth, we saw the whole universe. Viratarup. Huh? What? That's amazing!" And then this Adbhuta Ras rises in the hearts of the parents when the young cowherd boys go home and tell their parents that they saw the Brahmanda and Krishna at Brahmanda Ghat and Yamuna. So this is an example. Just by hearing something about Krishna in relation to Krishna. When Mother Yashoda, these are Rupa Goswami's examples in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. When Mother Yashoda's friends, elderly gopis, they saw her son lifting Govardhan on hill, they became filled with Adbhuta Ras. So the Vatsalya Ras, kind of on the platform of that Vatsalya Ras, that mood of Palana Poshana, that mood of protection and nourishing their sons, or nourishing Yashoda's son Krishna, then it kind of came in the background, and then this overcame them. They were just totally astonished. What is this? How your son did this? Well, our sons are there. How we can't even dream of our sons lifting a mountain. How is it possible? They can't even lift their bowl of kheer. We have to hold the kheer for them. And they say, "Oh, mommy, my arms are so tired from cow herding. Can you hold my bowl of kheer and feed me?" So the mother lifts up, when she's doing the poshana, she's nourishing her boy, she holds a big bowl of kheer and goes, "Oh, my Lala," and he goes, doesn't mean he's so let's see. Now these boys are the same size as your boy, and same age as your boy. How old was Krishna when he lifted Govardhan hill? 7 years old. And he has skinny arms, your boy has skinny arms, my boy has skinny arms. How is it possible? My little boy, my coward boy Subal, my little coward boy Sridham, his body is as soft as butter, and your Lala's body is as soft as butter. How is it possible? Nanda Maharaj became astonished when he saw, Narada Muni, this is in Dwarka Lila, he became astonished when he saw Krishna simultaneously present in 16,108 palaces, engaging in different activities in each palace at the same time. He was astonished. Bhayanaka ras, fear. When the Brijvasis saw the huge, dreadful, dead body of Putana, they became filled with fear. So this is an example of fear arising from seeing something fearful in relation to Krishna. Hasyaras, laughter. The coward boys all burst out in laughter when one boy tricked Krishna by saying, "Close your eyes and we'll give you a nice sweetmeat." So Krishna closed his eyes and stuck his tongue way out so he can get the sweetmeat. And then they put a bitter flower on his tongue, a flower from a Karela plant. And Krishna, So that was an example of that. Now this is Hasyaras. Hasyaras means laughter. Actually, I just told you an example of that. That was Hasyaras. Now there's another example of Hasyaras. When the Braja Gopis were joking, one time they met a very beautiful gopi on the footpath outside of Yavat, just near Yavat. They met a very beautiful gopi there. Lalita was there, Vishaka, and Induleka, Tungavidya, Champak, Chitra, Rangadevi, Sudevi. And they were all there. And they met this beautiful girl, and she's the sister-in-law of Radharani. And she's the daughter of Jatila, and her name is Kutila. And they had a beautiful conversation. They said, "Oh, Kutila, you're so beautiful. Your breasts are like string beans. They're like, what do they call them? Mata? What do you say? String bean? Inside a string bean is peas. Matar, yeah. That your breasts are like string beans. They're long and dry and hanging. And not only that, your nose, just see your nose, the way it's shaped, it's more beautiful than the nose of a frog. And your eyes are glowing and sparkling. They're more beautiful than the eyes of a dog. And your lips are brighter and more beautiful than the black cinders of a fire. The cinders are the sparks. Oh, and your beautiful sumadhyama, your beautiful waist. Your waist is as beautiful as a kettle drum. Anaka Dunduvi drum. Your waist is as beautiful as a big drum. We're simply amazed. You're one of the most beautiful gopis we ever seen in Braj. Your beauty, Kutila, is so extraordinary that we don't think that it's impossible. You could never ever be attracted to that flute-playing coward boy named Krishna. Because he's simply a little coward boy. And you're too beautiful. So as the gopis were, this is a hasya ras, so the gopis are in madhura ras and they're laughing and laughing and laughing. Mercy. If the devotee sees Krishna in a tragic situation, he feels compassion and lamentation. When Krishna was wrapped in the coils of Kaliya, Mother Yashoda feared some mishap or danger, and she was crying. so much that all her clothes became soaked, and she was breathing hot air from her nostrils, and she almost fainted. She was filled with compassion, karuna ras, for her son, and lamenting, what can I do, what can I do? That's karuna ras. And then there's Rodra. Rodra is anger. Sri Krishna becomes angry. And this means anger is that example of anger is that the gopis become angry at Krishna whenever he mistreats Radharani. And Mother Yashoda became angry with Krishna's friends. Sometimes the source of anger is Krishna. Sometimes you're angry at Krishna, or you're angry at Krishna's devotees, like this, or you're angry because of some situation that Krishna's in. So this time Yashoda was angry, not with Krishna, but she was angry with Krishna's friends. Hey Gopata! Hey Bhadra Singh, Gopata! You're older than my son, you're bigger. Mandali Bhadra, Gopata. Bhadra saying, I told you when you went out, I said you stay on either side of my son, you protect my Lala. How is it this big Aghasura came? Hey, Balaram, what are you doing? You're supposed to protect my son. She's very angry with them. You're nonsense. I told you to carry latis and walk on either side of him and protect him from these rakshas. And then there's Aghasura, so much danger. Mothers get angry, is it right? You ever see mother gets angry? But the basis is love. The Stairati is love, not anger. Some people, the Stairati is anger, and the Gonarati is anger, and everything is anger, and you better run fast. Then we have Vibhatsaras. This means ghastliness, disgust, disaster. And some of the anubhavas, when one experiences Vibhatsaras, one spits or contorts his face or runs away, or he covers his nose. Like this, I think it's Yamunachari, he says, this is in Nectar of Devotion, when I think of mitun, conjugal union, or sex life with a woman, my face turns in disgust and squinches up, and my lips curl in distaste, and I spit at the thought. I spit at the thought of having union with a woman. This is virakti, detachment. I spit at the thought. It's in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, under explanation of this. Ras, vibhatsa ras. Example. Very quiet in the room. I believe it was Yamunacharya. One of those two. Who spoke this verse? Yamunacharya. Yes. Yamunacharya spoke this verse. Yamunacharya was a king. He had hundreds of wives. Every night he was having mitun. This queen, that queen. This is his realization. So we have one wife, and we never have that realization 100 lifetimes. We can pray to Yamunacharya. Oh, Yamunacharya. You're the acharya of so many things. You're the acharya of virakti. That virakti, vairagya, detachment doesn't mean anything if you're never attached to anything. If you never had anything, what does it mean to be detached? You have hundreds of queens and hundreds of engagements and union with women, and spit at the thought. Tuchavat. Yanmai tanadi vihamedi sukhami tuchavat. Tuchavat, insignificant. Tuchavat. This is an example. Rupa Goswami. Rasacharya, Rupa Goswami. Oh, it's supposed to be Kunjarasya, only Kunjarasya. This is an example in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Oh, this is nectar. You want the nectar? Well, you better give up the poison first. Stop drinking poison if you want to take nectar. Poison is sense gratification, And the greatest sense gratification is mitun. When you give up mitun, then you can relish nectar. Give up mitun, and you can relish amrit. No one's laughing. Because it's vibhatsa. It's vibhatsa ras. So now, okay, now you can relax a little bit. Now what's another example in Gokul Lila, vibhatsa ras, disgust, spitting, covering the nose. One morning, Krishna and the cowherd boys, they broke into one gopi's house, as usual, to steal butter. And Krishna put his hand, after so much endeavor, and climbing on the pyramid of boys, pyramid-shaped boys, climbing up to the top, and risking their lives, breaking and entering into that house. And he put his beautiful lotus hand into that clay pot, and he felt that cool, very cool, refreshing, wonderful butter on his fingertips, and it was moist and cool and just so nice feeling, smooth feeling on his fingertips. And he brought it to his nose and Sham, Gopal, what happened? Oh, it's rancid, it's stale, it's old. He covered his nose. This is one of the anubhavs is right in there. It's covered his nose and made a contorted face. Let's go. And then they boys said, "What is this?" And they took their cowherd and said, and they cracked all the pots and all this rancid old butter went all over the place. And they ran out of the house and slammed all the doors. Bam, 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 bam. And they ran away. And everyone woke up and said, "Oh my God, the terror has been here. The black terror. The black terror has been here." Like they used to have Jack the so-and-so in the 20s. It was a very big demon, Jack the so-and-so. Yeah. So now the black terror hits Gokul. Dun 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 dun. The black terror has hit Gokul. Be careful. He may come to your house tomorrow. Doom 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 doom. Viraras. This is the last of the Gona Rasas. Viraras. Chivalry, heroism, valor. There's 4 types of heroes, chivalrous expressions. But the characteristic is their enthusiasm, utsaha. A real Kshatriya who has viraras, Kshatriya, he's enthusiastic to fight. Oh, there's a fight. Bye. He runs away, but you never hear Bruce Lee running away from a fight. He may pick a few. There's someone who knows his prowess and who is valorous. He's ready to stand his ground. Okay, come on. Come one, come all. That's confidence. So he's enthusiastic in 4 ways. He's enthusiastic in fighting, that's viraras. He's enthusiastic in giving charity, very enthusiastic, to give like anything, viraras. He's enthusiastic in performing acts of compassion and showing extraordinary mercy, that's also viraras. And he's enthusiastic to execute religious rituals and rites and establishing religious principles for the pleasure of Krishna or his Ishtadev. So here's some examples of viraras. The cowherd boys challenge Krishna. You are very restless and proud. You think that no one can defeat you? But don't run away now, little boy, because I'll show you how I defeat you right now. You ready to fight me? That's what Subal challenged Krishna one day. Sometimes Krishna and Arjuna used to fight in the presence of Kunti. They were friends. And Kunti is the mother of Arjuna. He used to go to Kunti's house and they would fight. Boys always fight when they get together. So this is viraras. So he would fight with Arjuna and Arjuna would beat him. Arjuna would defeat Krishna. Because he's actually an expansion of Arjuna Gopa also. And Subal once challenged Krishna. This is an expression of Viraras, being enthusiastic. Ha! Damodar, oh Damodar, you're expert in only one thing. And you only have you don't have any such name as Malaraj. You have no such name, Malaraj. Malaraj means the king of wrestlers. Malaraj. You're only known as Makkanchor. Makkanchor. You're expert only in eating butter. But today I will break your ears. You boast that you are powerful as a snake. But I am the peacock who will now defeat you. So this is Viraras. So this, of course, is one of the primary rasas